go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.
Sky!
Hi.
Hi! How
Hello,
are
everybody.
you?
I'm
How
fine.
are you, sweetie?
I am doing blessed and highly favored.
Blessed and highly favored. To know that you're doing blessed and highly favored is the place we all need to get to, right?
Yes.
Which is why we're doing this segment called the Oracle Sky,
Okay.
because we need to start teaching people how to get there by talking through it. So, the first thing we need to do is say, Happy birthday, Sky. Yay!
Happy birthday to me.
Happy
This is
birthday,
a blessing.
Sky. This is so cool.
I'm happy. This is
the best.
This is good. I'm happy. This
You
is
should
great.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sky. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
There is
Yes.
better. I'm sorry to say this. There is nothing better than a Leo birthday. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry. Leo's birthdays are popping.
It's a lot, guys. It's on and popping. It's my day. It's a new moon Leo coming. It's Leo season.
Plus, there's Lionsgate coming up. You got Leo Sun, Leo Moon, Lionsgate is on the 16th. Like, there's a lot of Leo stuff going on. Mars is in Leo. All right.
A lot.
I
think
feel
everybody's
like there's a Leo portal shift going on. Like, that only a Leo energy can handle.
It's gonna be a lot.
Gonna be a lot.
Hold on, put my headphones on.
Ooh, child. You know me, I'm always doing something. Leo's, Cornita, yes! Yes, happy birthday, if I forget, on the 4th.
It's somebody else's birthday?
Juanita has a birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. See you 7-7, lucky sevens.
Wait, who's 7-7?
Who else's birthday is it today?
Oh, somebody else's birthday was today?
No,
I think they're saying happy birthday to you. They're saying happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Jules is saying happy birthday. They're showing hats and those
I
things.
can't see it on my thingy. I want to see
happy
it.
Birthday, Sky.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Happy
Thank you.
solar return, says CW. You're going to have to go back and look at it. Happy birthday, says Ro Black. Kay's got that, I don't know what those things are, but it's one of the emojis. Steph says happy birthday. Irie says happy birthday. Sin W says, hey, Tracy, and birthday girl with purple hearts.
Hi.
So you're getting all the love, Sky.
So this is like my new year, guys. You know, everybody says the first January 1st is New Year, but for me, my new year starts on my birthday. So I do this every year. Like, figure out what I need to change for the next 6 months before January 1st, what I need to redo. So I always do this on, this is my new year.
Wait, Vovo says it's her birthday today.
I knew. See, I said somebody else's birthday. See?
Oh my God.
I didn't even know who it was. Happy birthday.
You can't even see anybody's thing. How did you know that?
I didn't
See,
know. I don't know. I just
the
said happy birthday. I just started
oracles,
screaming happy
right?
birthday. I didn't
I
even. I couldn't
was
even see. I just said somebody else's
listen,
birthday.
listen, Stephen, who has no more than one word, hi or yes, says happy birthday. Now we have
I
a
didn't
lot.
even know it was somebody. I just knew it was somebody else's birthday. See, I didn't even
Vovo's
see.
birthday, and she said thank you. Margaret says happy birthday, Sky.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, everybody. Thank you. It's my new year, so happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
This happy New Year. This starts my solar return, where the sun goes around
Oh,
one more year.
yes. um. Oh, Kiana says happy birthday, Sky. Kenneth
Thank
Williams says
you.
happy birthday, Sky. And AB
Thank
says,
you.
I agree. Birthdays are a personal new year. I reflect on my birthday every day. You know, I've never done that.
Yeah, it's my happy New Year. Really do. I mean,
I
I
mean,
always say it's the new year for the earth, but it's your new year. This is when your new year starts. Today's day one for me before my 365. So it's day
well,
one.
I'll do it this year, but I've never reflected on the last year of my birthday.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I always see, like, moving forward, me moving forward. Like,
yeah,
I never thought to compare the energy
yeah,
from,
yeah. What your year's
you,
doing?
you have to grow every year. That's what I would hope that's what I would hope.
That's the prayer that
That's the
everybody sees this year. You're like, hey, what do I need to do different? If you're in the same place you were last year, and I'm nowhere near where I was last year at all. So if
hmm
you look at where you are every year, instead of January 1st, I mean, January 1st is like the year,
for the
the
earth,
herbs, the
for the
people,
world.
right?
Yeah.
But for you, look at your first year. Today's my first day. There's a lot of things I want to do within the next 6 months. So, and then when I look back July next year, I'm like, okay, I did a lot of things. I accomplished some
Yes.
things.
Yeah, you
I
did.
moved forward. I did.
No, you
I think,
did. Yeah, I watched you go
yeah,
and accomplish a lot
a
this
lot.
year. A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm at peace with it. I think even now, like to say, do it today. So it's my birthday. And we go drink and do something. I was like, no, I think today is a great day. Like you pointed out when you said that, when you told me happy birthday, gave me a beautiful bracelet that
I
I
did.
love.
I gave you, girl.
The
Now you know I'm a Leo, so I'm a brag with you because you know I'm a Leo. But
it's
I
a
did give you. But there's another
evil
present
eye.
coming tomorrow.
Okay,
They
evil
first
eye
they said
bracelet.
the 27th, and then they
Hmm.
told me that'll be here tomorrow. You're gonna love that one too.
Yeah. So it's been a great
If I
year. It's a
must say so.
blissful year. Yeah, so I think everybody's looking at it that way, to take things into account in that way. So today you said let's do something nice and give people just general conversations or how I see things and what vibe I pick up from the group. I
Yes,
may be
yes.
talking to someone and they may like today. I just so crazy. I was telling somebody happy birthday and I can't even see anything.
That is so. But that is like, isn't that what the oracle is all about? Is it time in terms of
Yeah,
like personal growth, right? Isn't
yeah,
it time to step into that space in a public platform because we know you as this. So I'm not
yeah,
100% shocked,
yeah.
but isn't it time to step into a public platform to
Some sort
be
of public.
some
Yeah, some
sort of
sort
public?
of.
Yeah.
Yeah, to,
I'm
to
not
give
I'm not
everybody a
saying
taste.
where, I'm saying public.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why we said today we'll I'll give some words of wisdom and see how they land. And if someone has a question, ask it.
Yes.
No health because that's personal and that's too deep to
Yes.
put publicly.
Yes.
Let's not all discuss love and all that stuff. I mean, whatever you feel comes out. But I know, like I said, it was somebody's birthday. And it's so funny when I said it was somebody's birthday. I don't know their name, but they're going through like a major change. I don't know who that person is, but their birthday day is mine. A major change. They have some decisions to make, and they're kind of sitting on the fence. And they already know the right answers, but they're not making those decisions, and that's what they're struggling with. I don't know who that was, but maybe they can, today's their birthday, but they're contemplating a lot of things. And somebody returned that they didn't think would return. I don't know. So, but I'm just here to say that time is an illusion. Never think that you lost time,
Right.
and that you could not be with somebody, not be in something for 5 or 6 years, and you feel like, oh my God, I lost a lot of time. And then God has a way of all of a sudden something changes and you feel like you never lost any time. You pick up where you're at, life feels good, you're moving forward, and things change. So never put yourself in the mindset of, I lost time, because time, guys, is an illusion. That
Yeah.
is an illusion. So
Yeah.
I don't know, it just came to me. I don't know if people are, I can't see the chats. I can't see, is it
Vovo,
resonating for someone?
Vovo.
Mm-hmm.
Is that resonating with you at all? It was Vovo's birthday today.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All
So I hope
right.
that resonates for him.
Oh,
And
somebody says happy birthday, Vovo.
yeah, happy birthday.
Well, it definitely resonated with me. You know why it resonated with me? Because I said if anyone doesn't know like how to ask a question, then I would. And I didn't even
Oh,
have to. You just came out and was like blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh, that definitely sounds like me.
that was a you, Tracy?
I think so, right? Because the one thing when you said time is an illusion, I think that's something that a lot of people need to hear, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Because it's, do you feel like it's participating sometimes in different portals at, although it looks like we're in the same realm, could it be that we're in different portals in life?
I, so in my thing, you know, take, I would say take what works for you, and if it doesn't, leave it to the side. But I think I still feel like I had this conversation with somebody else and it kind of resonated for them. And it was
Yeah,
like, everybody always says this dimension, that dimension. But
yeah,
you would think your mind carries you from dimension to dimension. So today, let's say you don't have any money and you're on this timeline and you're broke and you don't know where the money's going to come from. Then all
yeah,
of a sudden you get some money. You move into another timeline because you're no longer in that timeline of not having, and can think, because your mindset changes. Now you move into a whole nother story portal and a whole nother mindset. So that timeline is now done. If
yeah.
that makes sense. So let's say when you're, like, I'm trying to put it in a way that
What
everybody can
if you
take it
get a
in.
new job?
Right, that's a whole new timeline because you're leaving one timeline and starting something
Right.
else. So whatever was before is done, it's finished. I think our problem is we like to pick things up
We
and
like to
carry them
carry.
along. Right,
Yeah,
instead of saying that timeline is now done, now I'm starting with new. So let's say you start a new job, but let's say at your last job you had a lot of people that were negative. So you're
yeah.
carrying that same timeline into this new timeline, and you're gonna have the same problems. Instead
Got
of
it.
saying this is a new timeline, this is a new action, this is a
And
new
just a new
direction,
experience.
this is all past. That timeline is now done and finished. Now I have to carry, and it's when you time travel and go back into what it was
Go get that junk
and
instead
then
of
bring it back and bring it back
recognizing.
correct.
Listen, I was watching. It's funny you should say that because there's a series called Girls Trip,
Uh-huh.
right? On Bravo, which is an
Mm-hmm.
offshoot of Real Housewives of something, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The Girls Trip is bringing certain characters into a changed perspective. Do you understand? Uh oh, I don't want to lose her.
I can hear you.
Meaning, two of the girls, Kenya, who's always been hated by her group, and
Mm-hmm.
then Phaedra, who got kicked off because of some scandal, both are truly loved in Girls
Mm-hmm.
Trip
Mm-hmm.
because they did what you just described, which was
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'm gonna go on this new trip. It's a new experience. I ain't carrying none of that stuff that has held me back or has gotten me fired,
Mm-hmm.
And they had amazing experiences that now, when you look at them, you love them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You don't remember who they were. You're saying, Let me judge them for who they are now. Now, if they bring
Yeah.
up that old stuff from the past, you remember that stuff. I think that's
Yes.
something when people say I was triggered, it's like you're triggered because you're reliving something that you left behind or you're trying to leave behind. So a
Yes.
lot of times I think that is the bigger um, play on the word of, timelines and, where you are now and time is illusion. And just like the biggest thing I think everybody always makes a big thing about God. And I think we put God in a small box. God is so much
Mhm.
bigger than what we think God is. I think we have a tendency to put him into a really small box and then think, oh, well, that is like, no, God is so much bigger than that. If you would just believe that in your head, things would change.
Don't you think though it's hard for people to understand how big God is? Like, is that something we've never been taught? Like, is that a new concept?
I
Right?
think, no, I think that's something that they've never been really or allowed to believe. Like, it's always made to think it's such a, okay, here's a big thing, a weird concept, if you may say. If you think of the Bible itself, the three main angels I always talk about are Gabriel, Michael, and Lucifer. Those are
Mm,
top three. Top three, right?
that's
And in
true.
the Bible, you always hear, or you hear people say, well, Lucifer, he's a liar, he does this. But his problem was, I don't, a lot of people might not agree with it, but follow me if you can.
Yeah.
He loved God so much that he could not bow to anyone else.
Yes.
So think of it like a relationship. To put it, so let's say you're dating a guy, you're dating whoever you're dating, and you love them so much, but they're asking you to be nice to their family members, but they can't stand those people. And they say, but I can't be like, they're a piece of crap, they do this, they're not worthy of you, they do this, they do this, they do that. But they're saying too, but I'm asking you because you love me
Yeah.
to respect them and give them grace and don't do anything. Now, I know that may be hitting a lot of people here. I don't know why I'm talking like this,
Yeah.
but sometimes you got to give them grace because that person's saying, because I love you. You understand? Do me that favor. So now place that onto God and Lucifer. Lucifer's like, excuse my French, y'all. F them pissy assholes. I'm not messing with them. Blah, blah, blah. They dirty. They this. They don't respect you. You understand? But I love you. I can't do it. God was like, well, if you can't do it for me, then I gotta let you go. You gotta get out of here. So when you think of it, it's a love story. So it's a bigger picture than the small picture that we make it. So now he's
Okay.
angry, he's hurt. I'm gonna mess up the family. If you make it in layman's terms, it's like think of it as a relationship that's gone bad. Now every time I see your sister, I'm punching her in the head. You know what I'm saying? I'm stabbing out your mother's car tires. Now that's when we lose. I'm angry every time I see them. It's on and popping. That would my perception would be the devil, and then God would be of the relationship of the person going, I'm just trying to make things right. I know I love this person still. They're angry, and I'm asking you guys to kind of disregard them and pay them no attention and
Mm.
focus on me.
Mm.
What's the bigger picture? And the bigger
So,
picture is love.
so I do want everyone to listen more than responding. Right, musings. That was very deep. So I don't want you to take too quickly what Sky is saying until she gets to the end, because I'm not wanting for everyone to compare what Sky is saying to religion, right?
Right.
Like,
Right. It's not, I
let's
think it's,
leave religion alone.
yeah,
It's
religion
not, this
alone.
isn't going
Right.
to be about religion. This is going to be about us elevating. So, with that being said, Sky, I
Mm-hmm.
kind of need you to repeat that because I thought it was so profound, and I feel like people
Mm-hmm.
missed it. But I do want you
Mm-hmm.
guys to, like, don't be so quick to speak. Be quick to listen. Listening is a
Mm-hmm.
gift. It's
Mm-hmm.
a whole thing, and listening is a part of your spiritual growth. I promise you.
Yeah. And I
So,
think,
so one more
and it,
time. I'm trying to get to the place where you said, Lucifer said, "I love you so much, God, and these fools don't."
right. And then, and it's like saying, and this is my interpretation. That's why I say religion is so small and God is so big. So if you break it down to our terms, it's like God is asking Lucifer, hey, because remember, there's three main angels, Michael, Gabriel, and Lucifer. The three main, the prettiest, the finest, the whole, that's the team. Like we all
The
have,
fiercest is Michael,
right.
right?
That's like,
Mm-hmm.
that's his spirit team. Like we have, that's his clique. That's his homies. Those is, I got your back. You
Right.
understand? Who said what? We got beef. We all got beef. So, and that's in layman's terms, guys. So let's say in the
I
sense
like
of,
layman's terms.
right. So in layman's terms, you're thinking, Lucifer's that homegirl that pops off of anything. Who said it? Who said it? I'm gonna go over and they're gonna catch a fair one.
Yeah, yeah.
God is saying, I want you to respect these humans. They're my people. I want you to take care of them. I want you to do these things. Even though they're not where they need to be, I need you to love me because you love me to do me this favor and respect it. Yes, I know they're not where they need to be, but I need you to do what I'm asking you. Lucifer, being who is loves God so much, is angry that how you asking me to, they dirty, they nasty, they don't like each other, they fighting, they this, they that, they're uncouth. I love you. I praise you. I will worship and bow to you, but I can't bow to them.
Mm.
Put them in layman's terms of, to make it even more simple, a relationship, a guy, a woman. You know, your man asks you to be nice to his sister who got a reckless mouth. She always got something smart to say. She always
Yeah,
doing some craziness.
yeah.
And he is saying, because you love me, ignore her.
Right.
Because she's my sister. I know they're a little crazy, but do me that justice. I'm gonna keep you covered. I'm gonna cover you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let them bother you, but for me, show them grace, give
Right.
them love. Do and she go, hell no, I don't like that whole but
Yeah.
he's still asking for me
Right.
because you love me so much. You're telling me you would do anything for me. I'm asking you for me because you love me. And because no, F them, you know, I'm not. End of the story becomes, now well, I gotta let you go. We gotta break up. You go your way, I go my way. Now Lucifer hence is the person who's brokenhearted now. Every time they see your sister, they punch you in the mouth. Every time they see your mother house, they throwing gasoline in her land or burning up her lawn. They punch her holes in her tire. Now she's a nemesis to the family. Or he, so if you place it in Lucifer's terms, that is the bigger picture of that concept. It is a love story to me. So when I
Mm.
see Lucifer, I see that as that's someone who's just so hurt that they love God so much and God didn't see that in them, that they were so angry and hurt that they became which they did not want to be. You got to get kicked out. I got to let you go. You're going to be ugly, you know. And sometimes in life, we don't do that to people we need to do that to. Because you love them, sometimes you got to let them go. So when I say religion, or it's not so much religion, but God is bigger than we put them in a box. If you look at it in that way, it's bigger. It's bigger than us saying, oh, it's a religion. Oh, I can't talk to this person because of this, and I can't do that. And when you read the books, whichever book you read,
Yeah.
it still all comes down to love thy neighbor. How do you help the next person? Who are you of service to? Who are you helping? What are you doing for the next person? How can I help you? I might not be able to give you a lot. I might not have much. I might only have bread and butter to give you, but would you like
Right.
a piece of bread?
Right.
So that concept becomes a bigger understanding. If we moved in that direction, things would change. You know, instead of focus on what we don't, like everybody has a tendency, like now with all that's going on, to have a tendency to focus on the lack of, instead of realizing that you have more than enough.
Yeah.
You might not have all that you want, but you
Right.
have all that you need. And even you might just have just enough to get what you need. You still
Right.
have more than somebody who has nothing.
Mm.
So when I say God is bigger than we make him to be, you know, if the birds can be fed and they have shelter, they don't work nowhere. They might not have what they want, they have what they need. So I think because we are on the higher plane of that, to full circle it, to say that we're covered by God, if you put yourself in the mindset of I'm always going to have. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have what I want, but I'm gonna have what I need. And I'm gonna get I'm gonna get more than I need if I keep moving forward.
You
If I
will get
keep
what you
if I
need.
stay on that timeline, as one thing changes, let me move on to the next timeline. Let me not go back into that sense of I don't have as I'm moving into I have. So right now you might not have, when you leave behind, you might, all I got is bread and butter. And the next time, oh, now I got eggs and bread.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I'm not going back to when I had burger. Now I got eggs and bread. Now I got eggs, butter, and rice. So each time you move forward, just keep moving forward. Never look back to, oh, but I sure wish I had a steak. Is going to catapult you right back to not having. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I'm not rambling for people.
Well, it does, because if I just think of myself personally, and at the
Mm-hmm.
point in my life when I was freaking broke,
Mm-hmm.
and there used to be a time when my son and I ate ravioli
Mm-hmm.
every single night,
Mm-hmm.
right? With no regret, because the
Mm-hmm.
ravioli cans were on sale, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they were on
A
sale.
sale, so. Mm-hmm.
So the one thing I made sure is that we had dinner. It wasn't the best dinner, nor was it the healthiest dinner at the time. It was a bad time,
Mm-hmm.
but he ate and didn't notice.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day I woke up, and I say this facetiously, everyone, and we were eating at a restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
having a lovely dinner. And he was
Mm-hmm.
like 8 years old. But when he was 6, we were struggling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the hardest thing. Like, you don't even see it happening. As long as you just keep moving forward, these things happen. You're not meant to struggle. You're not here not to have. It's just at the moment, you sometimes have to be in that moment and be like, there's something in this I'm either getting or supposed to be taken from it. Let me focus. Let me
Learning.
focus on what I do have and be
Yeah.
thankful and grateful what I do have. Because there's somebody, my feet hurt, but there's somebody with no feet. Or I'm just so tired. I'm working all these jobs. I don't have no time for myself, but there's somebody who has no job and trying to figure out how they're going to pay their rent or how
But
they're
don't
going to feed
you
their
notice,
kids.
Guy, also that when you're at your most complicated point in your life, isn't that when you meet the best people?
Always. Because that's like a wake up. That's like a, I don't know, an angel, a guardian, a spirit, an ancestor, whoever, whatever, whomever you grasp to is coming to shake you a little to say, hey, you're here and we're going to make sure you move forward. It is up to you now to keep moving forward. It's up to you to make that decision. We all have free will. No matter what's for you, is for you. But if you're not willing to say, you know what, today's just a rough day, tomorrow will be better.
Right.
Tomorrow's going to be a better day. You know what? It's not, because everybody has them. I've had them. People are like, what in the is going on?
You can have a rough week. Cancer season, I don't know about everybody else, but cancer season was a rough season. It
Mm-hmm.
started in May, it just ended. The whole season was rough.
Mm-hmm.
But have no fear, guys. Leo season is here, and we about to bring it.
Leo says it is here, baby. It's here.
It's here.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Get into it. Get into it. Get into
But
it.
my
Let me stop.
but my point is, I've never registered cancer season before, but I did register it this time only because I
Mm-hmm.
happened to be sick and this, that,
Mm-hmm.
and the third. And I was like, wow, this is a bad period. But I also knew the period would not last.
Yes.
But it took a while to
Mm-hmm.
ride it out.
Girl, it was. And I
And
think,
sometimes you have to ride out the energy, whatever it is, unemployment, a bad fucking boss, right? A bad relationship. You got to ride it out.
and be mindful what you're thinking. Stop
Mm,
asking, why I lose my job? You know what, God, you got a bigger plan for me. I got you. Just make sure I'm able to pay my bills and keep me covered and keep pushing forward and I can stay the course. Just
yeah.
please help me. The problem is I think sometimes we forget when things trouble comes, we go, oh my God, how am I? Instead of saying there are things happening. I think everybody can think of a moment when things looked horrible on Monday and all of a sudden by Wednesday you're like, was I just begging for wow? Because in that perspective. It is up to you. And I've had hard times. I've been, girl, we all been through COVID. We all know it. And literally I can tell you if you just walk by that faith, like you know what? Something better's coming.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I'm not going to look for it, but I know it's coming.
But you could
So
feel it too.
you
You
can
feel
feel
it.
it.
But I think
When you
I
change your own
yes.
perspective and move on
Yes.
to that next timeline. What I
Yes.
mean by everybody thinks timeline, or what's the other word everybody uses? Timeline, or the next dimension. It's all in the same course. When you're being sad and that's one timeline, as soon as you feel better, I'm moving forward. You're leaving that behind. You're ending that timeline. You understand? You're moving on to the next thing. But when you focus on what's not working, you stay there. When you move over to the next timeline, things kind of move, might not move as fast, but it's moving, it's traveling. Then that next thing, then all of a sudden, something else, it just keeps moving. It's when you stay stagnant, when you kind of freeze yourself and you just
Mm,
stay in this one spot. But people say things are three-dimensional. My own perspective, again, is three-dimensional to me is, wow, this morning, I kind of was in a pissy mood.
right.
This afternoon, I had a really good lunch. And by the evening time, I'm like, I'm really happy today. I have done
Right.
shifted three different dimensions. I went from grumpy
Right.
to wow, I'm in a good mood today. Things are really looking up, and tomorrow I'll be someplace else. I think it's just and to bring it around to the whole philosophy of God, universe, your ancestors, it's all in perspective of giving people grace, and most of all, giving yourself grace to
Yeah.
make mistakes, to do dumb
Yeah.
stuff, to
Yeah.
make those rash decisions and then think, oh, why did I do that? I'm like, all right, I did it. Let me keep moving forward. And let me not stay in the same space
Right.
and keep moving forward. It just helps.
So I have a question then, because
Mm-hmm.
this happens a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I want you to answer it. What
Okay.
happens when somebody says, "I feel stuck, Sky"?
Well, I just got chills. I think stuck is a state of mind. When you're stuck, it's because you're looking at all the confirmation. You're looking at all the same things
Yeah.
over and over again in the same way.
Mm.
So you're stuck. You don't see no
Yeah.
difference. You don't see no way out. You don't see no turns, no doors, no how I'm gonna do it. Instead of going, you know what? I need to see this in a different way. I
Yes.
have a tendency, I will go to sleep. I'm like, you know what? I need to go lay down. I'm about to go lay down. Go lay down. I'm going lay down. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. This is my perception of religion and stuff. But
Oh my God. When I get overwhelmed, I'm sleeping. And I
right.
could sleep for months. Good.
But I'm just saying, because you're seeing, like, you're looking at all the same things over and over. You're like, why is this looking like this? You look at the same empty fridge, you look at the same thing. You're like, you know what? I feel stuck. I have to do something, even if it's something small that's different. I'm going to 99 cent store, give me a crossword puzzle. I'm going to do this for a little while. Sometimes those quiet moments bring you ideas, and sometimes God is talking to you, ancestor spirits, and you don't even hear them because you're already telling yourself, I'm so stuck. I know everybody has had a moment you had the wildest idea come to your brain. And then you go, oh, I don't know, that's silly. And then something happens, it turns it around. You're like, I should have did it. Look, I had that idea. I should have did that. So sometimes it's just those moments. Everybody meditates different. Some people meditate while walking. Some people meditate by dancing. I think prayer is whatever. You put on some music. You understand? I talk to my
That's
spirit
prayer.
guides. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's your moment of prayer is sometimes just releasing whatever is on you. Say, look, I just gotta get this off me. So when you're stuck, it could be something that's, let me go take a cold shower. Let me go take a shower, let my brain reset. Let me go outside for some fresh air. Let me go just walk outside. Let me just sit down for a moment. Let me watch my TV show. Let me
Yes.
decompress. Let me find my favorite show and binge watch that, and then say, okay, when this is done, but give yourself that grace. I think the problem is sometimes people make us feel as though we always have to be moving. You always have to be on to the next thing. When the next thing is always coming, whether you want it or not, it's coming. It's on its way.
Yes.
Whether you're ready or not, it's coming. Ready or not, here on this earth, it's coming. You
Yeah.
understand? So sometimes you just got to figure out what works for you. How do you meditate? Some people meditate by might have, some people like roller skating. That's a zen moment for them. You understand? Some people like to dance. Some people like to cook. Some people like to talk. You
Exercise.
understand?
Some people like to go to the
Exercise.
gym, and that is their form of meditation.
Yeah, so it's just great. So it's just a matter of, and when you do that, things pop out of nowhere. I don't know how many people can say this, but there have probably been times that you didn't have either no food. You be
Hmm.
like, how am I eat? I don't have no money. All of a sudden, some money falling in. He be like, where get this money from? Let me go food shopping. 2 days ago,
Right.
your refrigerator was naked,
Right.
naked. You ain't have nothing, or you was like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay this bill. Like how I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna pay it. And then all of a
So,
sudden something. Go ahead.
is it hard for us to, because, I'm thinking back on all the times my life has changed. And I also know there were so many times that I missed that my life has changed.
But when you go back and think about it, you realize, oh snap, it changed. And at that moment, I think that's when you have to give yourself that grace. Because when you're moving through
Yeah.
life, sometimes you don't see. I've been there, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
I didn't even realize. You could have told. I'd be like, do you know what happened to me today? People like, all right, Scott, we know. But those things, when you look back, you be like, wow, here I was complaining, and all these things were working out for me in my favor, and I was even aware of it. You understand? Or um, a better job was coming, like you were struggling at work and you couldn't stand the co-workers, and all of a sudden a better opportunity comes that you weren't even looking for.
Hmm.
So it's just a matter of, I think, when you reflect, not jump back onto that old timeline, but when you reflect, pay attention when things shifted, even if it was small and minute. I think the
Hmm.
biggest thing we don't do is give ourselves grace. We can tell everybody, oh, relax, God is coming, and they go home. That main people go, it's coming, it's coming. Like, girl, I don't know how she's going to do that. You understand? Instead of going, girl, instead of going, because sometimes those are things too that people do. They don't realize by them saying that to to you, they're also contributing to that
They're
energy. So
adding.
now you have to be aware of who you're communicating with,
Mm.
because now they're saying, girl, I don't know. You ain't got no food. What you gonna do? Instead of you, you feel like, and while you thinking, you being happy, you're like, well, I got some onions, I got a
Right.
chicken, I got this. I'm
Right.
about to make me a whole big pot of rice and chicken. That'll last me for 2 or 3 days. You're already contemplating how to make things better for yourself. Again, it's not what you want, but it's what you need. You have food. Why someone go, that's what you eat for 3 days? That's it. Instead of going, but you still got food. Because there's somebody who does not have food.
Yeah. Like I've been money conscious the whole cancer season, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm eating tuna fish and crackers every day for lunch. Here's the funny thing about the tuna fish and crackers. It's actually been reducing my stomach. And so
Mm-hmm.
by the time I eat dinner, I'm not eating the volume I used to eat.
Mm. So what Spirit did and God did for you was say, lady, you eating too much food. Let's change this up. We got to make her money a little tight for her. Because if she's not able
Right.
to do it, we're going to help her. So let's turn it down when she's nervous about her money, where now
Right.
she minds she's eating less, and now you're
Yep.
shrinking your stomach. Some
Yep.
people trying to do. I think sometimes if you look at it in those ways, I think sometimes
Yeah.
people think, oh, it's meant to kill me. No, sometimes we are so hard headed, as Lucifer likes to say. He don't like us, but God is like, no, no, give him a chance, because we don't think in a certain way. So sometimes we have to be tricked into
Yeah.
doing certain things. We have to be
Yeah.
tricked into, I gotta lose weight. I got diabetes. Oh, you got diabetes, but you've been eating these honey buns and drinking Pepsis and
Yeah.
3 or 4
Yeah.
a day, and
Right.
you know you're not supposed to. And
Right.
God
Right.
said, I'm gonna have to hit you with the 1-2. Now they don't lost the weight. They not now they cut out the honey buns, the Pepsi, and now
Can't afford
they
it. Can't
they
afford
don't
it.
have Pepsi. Now they don't have diabetes. So sometimes you just look at all of those things, and sometimes I think if we take time to look at the things that make us happy, and
Hmm.
less about what makes us sad. When you focus on what's not making you happy, those are the things that make those circumstances stick around longer. So sometimes think about what brings you joy. What is making you happy?
Tuna fish and crackers brings me joy.
Thank you.
It
Or
does.
let's think. Here's a good question. A lot of people cannot answer. Just get ready to thought. What makes you happy? What brings you joy? Not your kids.
Can you guys answer that question?
Right.
What
Not your
makes
kids. Not your
because I
meal.
know what makes me happy.
Right.
Finally, I
What
get
brings you
there.
joy? What makes you happy? What makes you go, "Who today was a good day?"
Today
If
was
you
a good
can't
day.
answer that, that means you need to reevaluate what you think happiness is for you. Because that's the problem. Because if you don't know how to get to your happy place, when things get crazy, you're struggling because you don't know how then to get to the place that God set for you to be happy. I know, and I think that's why I say, well, everybody, I feel that when you speak ancestors or you're taking God or Muhammad, whatever you see as a higher power,
Yeah.
We make it into this small box and not realize it is so expansive that it's set up in our heads already to do better. We were more happy than sad, but when you don't know how to get to joy, you understand?
Yeah.
You don't know how to make yourself happy. How do I
Yeah.
say, you know what? I'm just in a bad mood. What can I do to make me feel better? I'm about to go lay down. Oh, I'm gonna lay down, take a nap. When I wake up, I'm like, I feel refreshed. I go put some water on my face. I'm like, all right, I'm ready for round 15. You know what I'm saying? You ready for the next round, but you gotta figure out what makes you happy. What makes you pull you to that next thing, so you be like, I'm not thinking about the last thing. Or let's say relationships. A lot of times we struggle. I hear a lot of people, I gotta cut a cord. Well, first cord you gotta cut is your own cord. Forget their cord. Cut your own cord. Meaning, what am I doing for me to be happy?
Yes.
So I know a lot of people say, oh, I mean, don't get me wrong. I believe those things are possible. I believe people do tie to people. But I think it's an easier cut if you figure out, what am I doing for me? What is my joy?
Yes.
And it
You know,
may help you a little bit
want to
more.
I want to differentiate between what makes you happy. Like listen to the words, everyone, because
Yeah.
one person mentioned food, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Sin W, we're about to move into a food shortage.
Mm-hmm.
So if food makes you happy,
Mm-hmm.
how's that going to work for you if we wind up in a food shortage, which will happen?
Let me
Which will
tell you
happen.
something. So now, if there's a food shortage, sis, you should be learning how to pickle and preserve food. If you a foodie, I know this sounds. I know I'm turning something that
No, no,
may
no,
be,
no, no. Keep going.
but
That's the
if that is
perfect
your thing,
answer.
and your joy, we about to come to a food shortage. Because for me, I'm like, food shortage. That's like help me lose some weight, baby. Anyway, I'm joking. No, I'm not. I'm serious. But anyway, if food is your thing, you might be like, oh, let me figure out how to do some pickling. Let me pickle some zucchini or pickles or
They
beets.
preserve
Preserve, you might, right,
canning.
candy, bananas. You may find a way that may become something for you because it is your joy.
Right.
You be like, oh, so let me find something. We about to have a future. I'm gonna have more than enough food, y'all, because y'all know I like a good snack. You may find things that people are like, we come into your house, you got any pickles? You got any beets? You got some red onions? You don't, if that
Right.
is your joy, then make it a joy. Even if impending doom is coming, as people like to say. I myself am not an impending doom person.
But
I
not
try to find,
everybody is going to die. And
right,
it's not about impending doom. It's
right,
already beginning. Like, this is
correct.
not 2019 where we had
Yeah,
let me tell you something. They
yeah.
said we throw away tons of food. If we throw away tons of food from dinner, from our refrigerator, we
Girl.
buy too much and then
Hmm.
throw it away because we're just being gluttonous, right?
This is true.
That's all I'm saying. It's not doom and gloom, but because we've had the opportunity to be gluttonous since the depression,
Hmm.
we have not gone back to that.
Yeah.
But history always repeats itself, which means the depression is coming. So,
Hmm.
because we know, because of history, what can we do? So if you love food, that was a really good answer. But here's another one. Crystal says, I'm a Taurus.
Mm-hmm.
Money makes me happy.
Dang, girl, get your plan together. About to be a food short. Figure out a plan. Like, I know it sounds funny to say it like that, but if money makes you happy, then you should be like, I should be working a plan that when things start to fall apart, I'm able to make a little bit of change somewhere. Like, again, there's nothing wrong. Like, your happiness is your happiness. Nobody can say, oh, that's stupid. You want to make money. Hey, she like money.
Yeah.
She be like, you may be person you might be one of those people. I always watch when you see a lot of people pick change off the floor. I'll be like, they're gonna have a lot of money because they like money. There are people that pick. You're one of them people like money makes me happy. Oh shoot, I found a quarter today. And you may be one of them people like I got a dot. Like there's nothing wrong if that is your happiness. No one can tell you what your happiness is.
Yes.
But now you have to be honest about what your happiness is, because if money is your happiness, how are you getting money? And if you don't have money and you're not happy, what are you doing then to get money? So now you have to think, well, then am I then saying I'm willing to do anything for money? So now you have to think what really is happiness for you. It is the thing, is money happiness because you allows you to do different things? Like I made a joke, I think put on my page on there. I was like, I think put on my stories. I think the old way of thinking would be a big house and a big car. And that makes you rich. My perception now is the things that money can do for me: freedom of time, freedom of space, freedom of doing whatever I want when I want to do it. That's my perception of money. It's not that I want a lot. I just want to have so much money that I can do what I want, when I want, how I want. So now you have to determine when you say money, because you have to be clear. If God is listening, universe, whoever, and you're saying, I just want money, they'll be like, well, sis, we give you got a good job, we giving you money.
Uh-oh. 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 Mm-hmm. She got excited, guys. Okay, we're gonna have her work her way back in, but one of the
No,
things
I'm here. I'm here.
Good. Go
I
ahead.
think if something went out, I think the spirits are like trying to call me. I have to take them out. So, because I can't see anybody say unless when you put into the thing. So I think just you have to determine like what is the core of that joy. You understand? It's hard to say, what is the core? Like, perfect example, I was making a joke. Again, I say things. And there was a bunch of dandelions in somebody's yard. I went out there to go pick the dandelions. You picking up weeds? I said, girl, they charge $4 at the store, at the health food place for like 6 of these. I'm going to take these in the house and dehydrate and make my own dandelion tea. You have to now be thinking, I have no shame in my game. Like, you don't want my tea? Don't drink no dandelion tea in my house because I got it from outside. I rinsed it off in vinegar and whatever. But you now have to be thinking of different things. What makes you happy? So you have to figure out not just, playing with my kids. Okay, what about playing with your kids makes you happy? What about that is euphoric for you? I think that's a lot of times that we just say things and we don't know the core. And that then becomes our bigger issue, because then when you say, I got some extra money, I'm gonna be happy, but you're still not happy because you really don't know what really makes you happy. So for me, like I said, we say, well, what money? I said, it's the things I can do with money, meaning freedom of time, freedom of space, to come and go as I please. That's my thoughts. So if I get, if I happen to hit the Powerball or one of the billions, y'all know I'm gonna be doing what I want. I'm like, girl, where you going? I don't know. I'm about to call Hopper. I don't know. I may be in Bali tomorrow.
I might have to go to another island for a couple of days.
Right.
Rico. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
What you doing, girl? You want to be able, or let's say some people enjoy brunching. Like, that's a good thing. What about the brunching do you enjoy? Is it the camaraderie? Is it the food? Like, you have to be able to say what, and I think that is a big thing. I know we're just rambling off. Like I said, I can't see, but you got to know what brings you joy, what makes you happy, like what brings me happiness, and you got to be able to put those things together. So it is just a matter of you know, contemplating those things. And I think we're having this conversation because I think as a group, what I'm feeling is anxiousness. Is that a good word?
Yes.
Anticipation, the energy I'm picking up, and fear. And I
Mm.
think, and maybe why I'm talking about God so much is because I think a lot of people are scared to lean in that direction
Of
because you're
in
making
that
of
direction of
God. They're scared to lean in a direction because they're like, God is so small.
got it.
Instead of saying, my problem is
Goes
so big, who's going to help me? How is this going to happen? How am I going to fix it? Sometimes these things happen for you to get out of your own way.
yeah.
Sometimes you got to think for a minute, but like, why am I here? What didn't I listen to? What lessons did I hear already and I ignored it because y'all know
Yeah.
y'all be hearing stuff. I don't know who I'm talking to, but some of y'all know y'all be hearing stuff. Somebody tell you go left, you be like, I'm like, I'm going right. That seems too easy. Why would that work for me? And then it turns out to be, dag, I should have went left. So again, stop second guessing that thought that you're having and anticipate it and know that God is bigger than your thoughts. He is bigger. She is bigger. They are bigger. We are bigger than those thoughts.
And those
Instead of
small.
just saying, right, those small things that I don't know, like, you know what? I'm meant to be here.
Yeah.
I'm here for a reason. Everybody has dealt with something that's brought them to this point. You happened for a reason. You may be somebody's testimony. Again, I don't know who I'm talking to. You may be a conversation that you need to have with somebody to give them encouragement because grace will follow you always.
Yeah.
Grace is always going to be there for you. You just have to be willing to say, you know what? I needed this.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you something that sometimes you have to say, I'm going to give you something that somebody didn't give me. I'm going to give you grace. You know what? I'm going to give you something that you don't give me. I'm going to give you respect. Sometimes you have to
Mm.
be the person to say, let me just do something. Let me give you what you can't give me. And in turn, it's going to turn out better for you because your God, whoever that be, is bigger than you think.
Yeah.
Because sometimes giving that grace pushes you forward or catapults you forward. And I think
Yeah.
there's a couple of y'all here that can either give what's that word, testimony of that happening
Yeah.
to say, I've been there and this happened for me. But then you have a habit of slowing yourself down and looking back. And you can't look back sometimes. You can't go back to what it was. No matter how much you may have liked it, you cannot go back. You have to continue to move forward. You have to say, you know what? Let me do something a little bit different.
You know, it's
Eh,
TSS said, getting through the day, like what makes you happy, and she puts getting through the day without dwelling in the past. You know,
mm-hmm. And that's and when you said that, think what you just said. You said not dwelling in her past.
yeah,
But let's start right here, sweetie. You're already dwelling because you bring it up now.
good point.
So he's like, I'm not even. So when you say I'm not dwelling, you sometimes have to release those things. It's not even a thought. As soon as it comes up, shift left. If you know a good day is getting through not thinking about something that happened that changed the course of action for you, you are just bringing it back at a slow. You're still holding on to something that you should be letting go of.
Yeah,
As soon as you think about it, that's not even on my timeline anymore. Let it go. So if
yeah,
you're getting through the day without thinking about something that, you know, of
and
the
it'll get
past,
better. It'll get
it'll
better
get
every
each
day,
day you're not going to think about it even
but
more.
it does take a practice.
Right. That's
Mus,
what I'm trying to say.
yeah, Musing says working in her archives, JCSU archives, makes me happy. It's
Mm-hmm.
saving me from depression. So
Mm-hmm.
digging through archives and stories, like but that's almost like reading a book, right? When you have to
Correct.
investigate and do
Mm-hmm.
research, and it
Mm-hmm.
takes your mind elsewhere, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
like reading a book, which reminds me that not enough people are reading to get themselves out of something different.
Mm-hmm.
So musings, you're actually very lucky. But I think
Right.
she's an
And
avid book reader anyway. But I still think she's very lucky to
mm-hmm.
have a work system that takes her away from depression.
Now here's the catch with that music. So now that helps you take away from that. What happens when you don't have that? What else is your backup mechanism to make sure you always remain in that good space? Because like you said, depression is something you're working through, which is a blessing in disguise that you found something that works for you.
Well, to even
Right?
acknowledge the depression, I mean,
Correct.
a lot of black folks are just admitting
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
we're going through something. We never
Yeah.
used to say it. You know, I can, what's this, 2022? People didn't say it in 2000, just 22
Nope.
years ago.
Nope.
How many people did you meet that says, no, I don't need counseling? And it's like, I think you do. A therapist,
And you
something.
know, and that is a lot to do with standing in the same timeline, standing still in the same space, standing in the going, why me? Why would not me? Why did this happen? Why not? Instead of going, let me find what's gonna make me happy. Because you can't be anybody else. You can't. When people say, oh, I want to be this, no, you only could be you. And you know what? With you, there's always somebody who's gonna love you.
Yes.
There's
Okay,
going to
guys,
be somebody.
for you.
Go ahead.
This is actually a really good one too, and I'm so glad you guys are responding. My happiness comes from helping people.
As service to others. And that's a good thing. You understand? But in giving service to others, how are you servicing yourself?
Yes. So,
You have to
repeat
think,
that.
and that's a great
Hold
thing.
on,
Oh, go
Sky.
ahead. Hmm.
Repeat that. That's really important in terms of being of service to
Right. How are you also
others.
servicing yourself?
That's
Because
so
I
important.
volunteer. I volunteer a lot. I volunteer. I hear a fire engine.
It's me.
Oh, that's confirmation.
Yes, yes,
So
as Melissa
that
would say.
says I do service to others. But what makes me happy is servicing them. But at the same time, what am I doing for myself that makes me happy? Again, it's like a full circle because you can give and give to others, but still feel empty inside when you're alone. In those quiet moments when you're by yourself, there's no one around.
Yeah.
What are you feeling?
Hmm.
I think that is something that is a thought for everyone to think about. When you're alone and there's nobody around, it's quiet, and there's this, what are you feeling? Are you like, oh, this feels good. I'm at bliss. I'm blessed. Are you like, oh, damn, I'm by myself? You have to, again, work on what makes you resonate with you. Give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. I think, and it's not to say that's the
And
end
be
all,
of
be
service to
all,
yourself. That means
right?
really
Help
sit
you.
down and get your nails done. Really sit, and I don't mean get your nails done as a way of getting your nails done. I mean as a service to yourself, get your nails done. Don't get them
Hmm.
done because that's the thing for today. Like the attitude needs to be different. I'm getting my nails done because I truly deserve this moment, this experience.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna spend. I don't know how much everybody spends on their nails, but let's just lowball it. I'm gonna spend $35 on my nails because it's funny you should say that's Sophia, because that's really good. Because I'm
Hmm.
finding in the Caribbean that the women care more about their nails and their hair, and the men don't understand that the level has changed for women,
Hmm.
right? So we're not sacrifice, that extra money to take care of the kids, to take care of the husband.
Hmm.
We're now saying to our people out there, I love you, but the way I take care of myself is to spend money on my hair and spend money on my nails. Period.
And because I love you, I'm getting my nails done and my hair done. Because if I don't, I'm not going to be good inside for me. And if I'm not good inside for me, I can't be good inside for you.
Mm. Maybe those are really good words to repeat to someone when they don't understand why you had to get your hair done twice or three times in a month. Those are really good. No, those are really good words. You have to be like, I
Yeah.
take care of myself so that I could take care of you, sweetie.
Right. I love me so I can love you better.
I
Because
love
I don't
me.
love
I can
me,
love you better. Yes.
because if I can't love me, I can't love you. That means if I'm not taking care of myself, how am I taking care of you? Because sometimes the surface of taking care, so I'm feeding them, I'm clothing them, but are you giving them the emotional support they need? So are you really taking care of them? Or are you just doing the surface level of what they need? And actuality, if you think about it, when you talk to kids or you watch kids, sometimes parents, or I dress them, I feed them, but emotionally, are you available to your kids?
Yes.
When people talk about these kids, oh, they don't listen, this gen, I want to go, but who are the parents?
Right.
You raised that. You
Right.
created that. You made the child think clothes was a necessity. You had to have on the freshest outfit, the cleanest thing, the hair done.
That was
So
your
when they
version
turn,
of love to your child. That was
so
your version.
now when the
You
child
did
is
that.
11, 12, 13, they like, well, where's my sneakers? Where's this? They acting up. You have to go back and go, dang it, I made that monster. I created that person. Because at the end of the day, having a child is having a child, but you are raising a person.
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, you are then letting them go and go out into the world. And I know some people don't do that. They hold on to their kids, they make them mini thems, and they wonder why the kids are miserable, why they don't talk to them. That's a whole nother discussion. But at this point, we're discussing at now what are you putting into them? Because whatever you're putting into them, it's gonna come back out. And if the focus is on clothes, hair, what I look like, and when you create that child, it's like, well, I need the latest of everything to succeed. Then you're wondering, why is the kid acting up? You already remember, you already trained that, you already made that action. So you just have to, as a whole, if you put grace into everything, and don't get me wrong, I'm not an angel. I will cuss up here in a minute. You understand? That because I was loving light to your death don't mean I won't throw hands. Try Jesus, but don't try me. Because
Well,
I throw hands.
but people keep forgetting that you are allowed to have a human experience, and
Experience.
anger
Right.
is a human experience, and people keep forgetting
Mm-hmm.
that when the folks disrespected his temple, he
Mm-hmm.
cussed them all out.
Mm-hmm.
He cussed them out. He turned over them tables. He told them, "Get the fuck away from my church.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't bring this in my church.
Yeah.
Don't confuse don't confuse the temple," right? And
Yeah.
so the temple becomes you, the person. Don't
Yeah.
confuse my temple, which means anger is a great emotion used well.
Yep. Yep.
Hi,
Just like when people,
Melissa.
just like when people talk about, what is that? What is his name? Judas, who was going to betray Jesus. Whether you like it or not, he had a role to play. So some of these situations that you're in, he had a role to play, and he knew he was going to betray him. But he needs to let things play out. So sometimes I don't know who I'm talking to, but sometimes you have to let Judas do what they're gonna do so you can see the whole picture come together. Sometimes you get upset about, oh, no, no, be quiet and let them do their thing. Because when they think you're not watching, they're going to do what they need to do. So
Right.
sometimes when you say Judas is like, not really, because he had a job to do. And that was his job. And sometimes when you play that in your own life, it's like, you're, oh, I got to get rid of, oh, that's a snake. Sometimes you just got to cut the grass low so you can see where the snake is going. Because that snake will eat the rats, the mice, and all those things you don't need around you while they still trying to get close to you. So while they're still doing you a service. I don't know what that's for, but somebody needed
Well, I mean,
that.
no, that's a really good point, because that reminds me of relationships when somebody's cheating
Mm-hmm.
and but still taking care of the home.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a balance between, I know he's cheating and you needing proof, and knowing that if you break that system up at the wrong time, you're going to suffer.
That's right. That means save your coins. You see what he doing? You see the snake out there? You let me start saving my money. Because when I had enough, when I'm about to cut the snake's head off,
Yeah.
I already know I'm okay. I already saved my money. I already gave myself grace.
Yes.
So when I walk away, I don't need to be angry. I don't need to be bitter because I prepared myself.
Or the other scenario, because this just comes up in a lot of readings anyway, where I don't know if this is happening so much anymore, but where you know he's cheating, you know he's not doing right, but you got kids to raise. So don't act shocked when some girl from the left, like a Marla Maples, walks up to Ivana and goes, "Do you love your husband?" Because I do. Don't be shocked, because Ivana should have known that her husband was stepping out. Don't act crazy now that it's out in the open. Wendy Williams is another example. Wendy knew. But remember, now this will make sense to people. What? Okay, because now I'm getting upset, Scott. Give me a second. Because everybody wanted Wendy to throw that man to the side.
Yep.
He was the only thing keeping her together.
Yep.
And so what you want for somebody else, she knew he was cheating. When he didn't come home, like, it doesn't take a brain surgeon to know that your husband is doing something. Maybe she didn't understand how permanent the situation was, and then he brought a house right down the block, but she didn't need to know all of that, right? Once it got put out there, she wasn't ready to leave that man. We made her leave that man. And now look at her.
And again, that was her choice. Like, I think sometimes people get in other people's business and they're like, "Why are you still with him?" I always want to go. So I'm that friend that goes, "Well, why are you telling her that? Ain't you still with so and so who been cheating for like forever? Now he acting right." Like, I'm that friend. You should leave him. Well, why should what? Ain't you still with Don't he bop you in the head every third of the month? You know, like. That's not that. You do what you feel you need to do, sis. I'm here for you. I think sometimes people don't realize you need to be there for people so that when they do decide to leave, they know they have a support system, not someone who's going to say, "I told you, I told you." Sometimes you're like, you know what? That's on them. Peace be with you. If you need help, sis, I'm here. Anyway, so what we drinking today? Where we going to brunch? Like, you're going to be there supportive. I think sometimes people feel they have to be so invested again. We get so invested because we don't know where our happy places are, and we don't know how to give ourselves joy. So now we have to make sure we know everybody, that we know how to help them fix their life, but where our life is not where it needs to be.
But sometimes, Guy, it feels better to look at your co-worker's bad situation, your sister's bad situation. We feel better about ourselves, knowing damn well we're not too far removed from any situation that we gossip about.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing. And I think, like you said, so then it translates into what makes you happy. Because why would you want to see your friend be sad? Why would you co-sign
then we
the
have
agony?
Friendship.
Say that hot shit again, because that becomes another thing.
You got to question the friendship. And I'm talking from the perspective of the person, right? The receiver can question it. The receiver can go, "Wow, that was some foul shit she said." The giver is the person that needs to start questioning their friendship if you have to say something mean to somebody. Or remind them what a terrible relationship they're in, male or female. You have to constantly remind somebody about it. You're not the friend, but can you see that? Because I've heard people say, "I'm just trying to help them see." I'm trying to help them see. Aren't you?
What you trying to help them see? We already know he ain't, and she know he ain't. So what you put? Look, I'm here to help you. Maybe she made. Let's go to a cooking class. You like to make money. Let me help her make some money. Let me show her something different. Let me be supportive. Or you may need to back away from the table because you love her enough to not interfere with her own psyche of being what's the word I want to use? Of you being a person that who is also attacking her. So if you can't be a friend that can support and be like, you know what, I know what you're going through, but I'm here to support you. Because sometimes I find that people attack other people. If we don't think the same way, they attack. Like I think it's always good to have a healthy disagreement. I'm all for. I said green, you said red. I said red, you say pink. It's the same thing. But
Right.
I'm okay to go back and forth in that to come to an understanding where it
Right.
still doesn't change the relationship. I think sometimes people do things to be mean. And then you
Yeah.
have to check yourself. Why are you being mean?
Yeah.
What is making you feel better by being mean? What are you going through that you need to make somebody else feel what you're
Or that
going
you
through?
need
And
to
again,
point something out to someone, and it's like that was hurtful. Like I'm always shocked when people are like, I just want to point this out to you. I didn't even notice that.
mhm,
Thank you. I think. Okay, here's another one, but I do. This isn't. I don't need you to answer this. Actually, um,
mhm,
someone put evil magic on Wendy's life and feet. Stop believing in that form of evil magic. The whole process in spiritual development is that if somebody puts something at your feet, you live anyway. You
mhm,
rise anyway.
mhm,
You go on anyway, right? Because we
mhm,
constantly live in fear. Oh, they put
mhm,
magic on me. They put magic on me. Listen, magic is real. Somebody can put magic on you. Did
mhm.
it kill you?
And in essence, what they put on you, hello, better believe they had to pay for that in
Yep.
some sort of way.
And they
In
had to
some
carry
sort
it
of way.
around. No, like you know what
Yep.
I mean? Like you had to carry it around, or you had to mix this stuff to put evil on somebody. Child, please. I tell everyone evil exists in my life,
Mhm,
right? And when evil shows up, it goes to the weakest components of my life, right?
mhm,
I have to look at the surrounding things that are happening around me, and I have to decide whether or not evil wins.
mhm,
Or can I continue to carry on in spite of what evil may have taken away?
mhm,
I choose to carry on.
mhm.
Wendy
Yeah,
made a choice
yeah. And not
not to
only
carry
that,
on.
exactly.
Two different things.
And I think a lot of things, when you listen to a lot of women, this is just me giving my opinion, you hear them go, oh, she should have did this. I said, but then when you say, let's stop and look at your relationships. Let's stop and look at the things that you tolerated. Let's stop and listen to some of the stories you tell. Again, she already, I mean, from being from New York, she always had issues with her feet. That's something that she's had
Yeah,
forever since she was a kid. I forgot
yeah,
what it's called.
yeah,
If it's exasperated because of her mental, what she's going through, okay,
yeah,
maybe that. You
yeah.
understand? Or if someone did do something to her. But at the end of the day,
Right.
it still comes down to whatever they've done to her, they have to pay for that in some sort of a way.
Mm, thank you.
You understand? And I think that is the difference that a lot of people, especially us women, have a
They
tendency, oh,
keep
she's doing
forgetting.
this. You have to let us stop, sis. Think about the relationship soon. Let's hold up a mirror. Let's look at it. Because I know you have a Jonathan or so and so that you pined over and you did all the craziness for and you wished. And so at the end of the day, it's all about to tie this all back in. Give yourself grace and give other people grace.
Mm-hmm.
And God is bigger than you expect. When this all turns around, y'all gonna be like, what? Because who God bless, no man tests. So whatever's for her is gonna happen regardless.
Yeah.
Whatever's for her is gonna happen regardless.
And
You
she's got to work
understand?
this energy out. She just has to.
Correct. Right.
And we have
She
to
has to.
chew her on without saying, Wendy, you got that black magic on you. Like, that's not helpful. Like, those words is not helpful. And,
What?
words get back to
Mm-hmm,
her. The one thing she will do is
mm-hmm.
allow people, the internet, to feed her. Words get
But
back to her. I don't
and
think
here's
those
the
are the
catchy
best
thing.
words to offer.
People don't realize how powerful words are. So, with that being said, you're seeing someone struggle, give them grace. Say a prayer for her, even if it's small. I wish her well.
Yeah.
I hope she pulls together. She
Yeah.
does have a son that she has to be there for. I hope that she can pull herself together and maintain the life that she needs to have so she can then be later on. I could say that for her because I hope somebody looks at me and says the same thing for me. Not go, you got black magic on you? Because if I do, I'll find a way to get it off me. But I'm not going to wish anything on anybody else. So if I'm seeing that happening to somebody, your thoughts should be, let me take a moment to say a silent prayer for you. But if you can't do that, I implore you, figure out what makes you happy and what brings you joy. Because if you have those two things figured out, you won't be so easy to look at somebody and want to talk about what they're not doing, what they don't have, how they're not living. Yo, you know what? That's her life. Let me send a prayer her way and we'll keep it moving. Because I don't want that on my timeline. Because you know
Yeah.
what you're doing? While you watching her and wishing bad, guess what? What's your man or your girlfriend doing?
Yeah.
Because then it goes full circle. Now you're inviting that energy into you.
Yeah.
So again, it is a matter of being bigger. Not to say we're perfect because I'm ready to knuck if you buck. But at the end of the day, you understand, give people grace. You know, be like, you know what, I'm not even worried. Sometimes my attitude is I don't even want to feel like, oh, you know what, be blessed, have a good day. I don't even want to, child, let me keep going. But sometimes we get so invested because we don't know what our own happiness is or how to make ourselves joyful that we relish in someone else's agony. And if you can relish in someone else's agony, you have to rethink, why don't you know your own happiness and your own joy? And
Ah,
realize God is
because if
bigger.
you did, you
You
would
wouldn't have
not be
time.
so invested in
Correct.
someone else's ugly. You know, because somebody said that about Super, and they were like,
Mm-hmm.
Tracy, you need to do this reading on Super. And I was like, no, I don't. No, I don't. Why can't we
Yeah.
allow her to have a new man in her life? Why
I
can't we
mean, she
allow
been through
her
enough.
to buy that man a home? Like, I'm not judging anymore. Listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a grow up. We got to grow
Mm-hmm.
up. We got to support women. Like, we have to get there. We have to cross the river. Right?
Yeah. I don't care. I think the biggest thing is we have to start asking, why do you care so much? It's not your job. You're not doing no readings. You're not, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we, don't get me wrong, we all want to be in the corner like, girl, you heard Lady C, I'ma listen. Don't get me wrong, I listen to T too. You know, but you know what I do different at the end of it? I'll be like, well, I wish them well. Let me say a prayer in my head, like, girl, I gotta
Yeah.
be a lot. I hope you work through it. I hope
Yeah.
you get through it. You
Yeah.
understand? I hope this is crazy, but let's hope that she gets through it. Because at
Yeah.
the end of the day, you know what I'm hoping for? When I'm on my face flat down, somebody is praying for me because things go in circles. I may be there one day,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm hoping I've done enough grace for other people that God will grace me with people that grace me with the same thing I gave them. And I
Yeah.
think that's a big thing that we miss. Like, you know,
But
are you a
but
girl's
that
girl?
can happen. All of
Mm-hmm,
that is completely possible if
mm-hmm,
we learn to shift the
mm-hmm,
new into the fifth dimension now. If we learn to
mm-hmm.
shift in caring for one another.
Yep. And that's eggs. Say it again. Care for each other. You don't have to like me. I don't have to like you, but I'm gonna respect you and wish you well.
Yeah.
And wish you well. I don't have to be your best friend. You don't have to be my best friend. But I wish you well. I don't want to see you without. Just like I hope you don't want to see me without.
Mm.
You understand? Or if you thinking bad about somebody, you ever wonder when you thinking so bad about somebody else and their situation? Oh, that's stupid. Or about you ever wonder? There's some food for thought for some of y'all to think about. You ever wonder how your stuff are turning crazy? You be like, why is my stuff? What's going on here? Because you was talking about Keisha and them and cackling about their situation. Now look at yours. Instead of going, that
Most
ain't got nothing to
people,
do with me.
most people can't see that.
You, you got to
Most
start
people
seeing
can't
it.
see that they bring their own bad luck to themselves.
Yeah. And I think right now there's a time things are changing. You know,
Yes.
if you just see God, if you just see your being, however it is, whoever you gravitate to, because it's not me, I can't tell you who's your higher power, but it is so much bigger than the small box that you, to bring it full circle in that small box that you're putting it in, because God is so much more. You know, some people, a couple of y'all in here now have been taken out of the situation. You were like, I don't know how the hell I got out of that. You know why? That was God. I don't know how. I should be dead. You should. You think? You understand?
Yeah.
Oh, that man, I never thought I would get away from him because he's so abusive and I couldn't live my life. I don't know who I'm talking to. At the end of the day, you got through it. So you're a testimony for somebody else. The problem is a lot of people figure I'd rather hide in the shadows and not
They
talk
don't
about it,
testify.
and not realizing that moment is a testimony for somebody else. You're off that timeline. As you hold on to it, you're still in that timeline. You're still thinking about the same thing. You're still thinking about the same energy, the same anger, the same hurt. You can't move forward if you're still thinking about the same hurt and the same anger. If you repeat it to someone else, you know what you're doing? Less and less, it hurts less, because now you're helping somebody else work through it. So in actuality, it's a bigger picture. And I think the biggest thing is here is about joy, finding your joy and finding your happiness. You know, I'm not a preacher person, but I think me just
But
watching
you're
how life is
talking.
moving.
The Oracle
Right.
Sky is talking. But I have
You
one
know.
more thing that I think might be a really good conversation to discuss, Sky.
Mm-hmm.
And this takes, growth, a lot of moving past and growth,
Mm-hmm.
right? When people keep dating the same person over,
And different people.
no, when they keep dating the same person, not in different people, literally the same person. There's so many times I get questions where I'm like, how long have you been with them? Right? And it's like, oh, I've been with them for 8 years, on and off. Well, you haven't been with them for 8 years.
Right. You've been with him on and off for 8 years.
For 8 years.
If
but
you add it up,
also,
it'll only be.
every time you bring somebody back, you're inviting a different characteristic into your home. Right? And you're inviting someone that knows you so well.
Yep.
Knows that you're not going to change. And we're 8 years later.
That's because they have not changed. They are still in the same timeline. They can't get off that timeline.
Got it.
It's just, they're still in that same place mentally. Yeah. They're still in the same place physically. They could have moved on, done things, bought a house, bought a car, lived better. But in their head, they don't know what happiness is.
Dated other.
No, they not, forget dating other people. They aren't happy, because once you're happy, there's certain things you're not going to allow in your life. Once you know what makes you happy and you realize this person is not making you happy, you shift. But you can't shift if you're still holding on to something because you think that's your happiness. And if you don't know what makes you happy, you're not going to be happy. Even if you get the man, you get the girl, you get what you want. Once you get it, somebody say amen, if I'm right, put in the thingy. Once you get it, you think you got it, you be like, why do I want this again? And you're still unhappy. This is when they find, here's a kicker for you. You do the 8 years, you do the time. Year 9, they finally realize, this is it for me. I want to be here with this person. And they get serious. Now it's just you. It's just you and them. You know what you're thinking now? Why'd I take it back? I don't want this. I thought this is what I wanted. It's not what I want. Now you're miserable. You have to be honest with that situation. So they're holding on to something they think that they want. And even when they get it, it's not even what they want. It's the idea of it. It's the happiness. I don't know what makes me happy. I don't know what my inner joy is. I don't know what makes me happy. So I'm grabbing onto something that I think is going to make me happy.
So there's a little bit of difference between what Sky said, Red Roses, and a cliche of break the cycle, right?
It's not a cycle.
That's a cliche, right?
Yeah.
It's what Sky said was when you keep taking someone back over and over, you're not happy.
Right.
And is it hard for people to look at themselves?
Yeah, it is. That's what I'm trying. That's why we have this. It's hard to. That's when you hear when people, when you say, what makes you happy, what brings you joy? They'll say kids, food, this, that, and the other. They're not going, you know what? A glass of wine, my feet up, and nobody in the house. What makes me happy? I go lay down, I get up. Like things that make me happy, really, really funny, guys, is if I get my nails done and my toes done and then go get something to eat, girl, you can't tell me nothing. It's the best. And my head, I'm like, where am I going next? I'm gonna go get myself something to eat now. Yeah. That is joy to me. If I can't get all three of those things done, I get my nails on. I'm like, well, this is nice. I'm gonna talk. I'm not, you know what I tell myself? I'm not washing no dishes. I'm not cooking nothing for 24 hours. I need my acrylic to set. Like I tell myself these things. Yeah. What makes you happy? Like those are things. I like bubble, like, you know, I like to read. I like to go for walks. I like going places by myself. There's so many different things that make me happy or bring me joy. Yeah. That one person who is taking that joy out of me, like you feel like, yo, this is not good for me. You realize what's not good for you. You're like, this is not good for me because it's making me unhappy. And I'm doing too much. I got to rethink. So I don't think it's so. I think the word is it, like you said, breaking the cycle, Tracy. People, I think that's easier to see, but it's not so much the cycle. It is, why do you keep letting them back in? What is it about you that you don't like, that you keep allowing yourself this abuse?
Right.
Why aren't you happy?
So, TSS says, is that hindsight?
Hindsight, like saying,
like you can only see it once you're way past it.
Oh, yeah, okay. So you see it afterwards because in that 8 years, you're growing. Think about it. You're changing, you're buying, you're moving, you're developing. But in your mind, you think, but I love this person. I want them with me. You're still growing. Once you get them where you want them to be and you're settled, you realize I was already making myself happy. Why keep dragging this person with me? It changes everything. It changes everything. So it's not so much hindsight. It goes, you have that quiet, you in that moment when you're in the shower washing your behind, you go, why is he here again? Like, what? I was doing good. You know what I'm saying?
I don't feel like cooking. I don't feel like mixing a drink for him.
Right. It changes. It's not so much hindsight. It is self-awareness. There you go. It's self-awareness. At that point, you realize, you know what? Yeah, this is not what I signed up for. And it's not so much because hindsight is saying, well, later on, it's more of a self-awareness. It's more of you have to think about where we are now in the 21st century and where we were.
Yeah.
You understand? Where you are now, you're able to say what you want, do what you want. Remember, there are women who are in their 80s, been married to the same man for 60 years. You know, people have, oh, my grandmother and you know that lady went through a lot.
Yep.
You know that lady settled with that man because she could. You know, back in them days, that lady couldn't have no check account with her name on it. So she had to be Mrs. James Brown with a checking account with all 13 of them kids and all that stuff was going on. And they made it work. So people say, oh, we don't have no more big mamas. No, because big mama don't have to do that no more. She can say, you know what, them is your kids. Them ain't my kids. I'm going on vacation.
Come pick up
I'll
your
be
kids.
back. Come pick up your kids.
I'm going on vacation.
That is not so much. Right. It's not so much of saying, oh, it's like you have to give people grace and the ability. You have to be able to say, I am my ancestors' wildest dreams. You think if you had ancestors who were slaves, want to see a grandmother slaving over 10 more kids babysitting? They want you to be your best at 50 and 60 years going out.
Or do you think our ancestors who are with us all the time want to see you suffer in a relationship? No. Because they didn't have the same laws that we are living with. We have freedom, even if you don't recognize it. But TSS also says when you no longer behave a certain way and stop making the same mistakes, is that hindsight? No. Hindsight, no. Hindsight is when you can look at history and realize why things happen for the greater good, right? My parents got divorced and we moved to Harlem for the greater good. Did I know it? No. But that's where I met my husband. That's where I got my child from. That's
Mm-hmm.
hindsight. When you're
Mm-hmm.
living in a situation, it's okay to look at your current situation and understand and ask, are you happy, like Sky says? And if
Mm-hmm.
you're not happy, you're not waiting for hindsight. You're going to
So,
start to recognize it.
so here's a definition of hindsight. First of all, hindsight is a noun, which is an action. So, understanding of a situation or event only after it has happened or
Yes.
developed. With hindsight, I should have never gone.
Right.
So that's after if it has happened. So while you're in the event, it hasn't
It's
not
not hindsight.
happened. It's
Right.
not hindsight
It
because you're
hasn't
still
happened.
in it. The person
Good.
still lives in the house with you. You're still with them. You're still moving forward. You're realizing, you're coming to a conclusion of, I'm in a better place. I don't need to be in this situation. I held on to somebody that I actually had already let go of and just never real. That meaning some people be with people, never really let them go, but
Mm.
they're holding on because they think it's the right thing, or I feel like this
For
person's the
whatever
right person
reason.
for me,
For
or
whatever
right.
reason.
And now once you get them, you're realizing this is not giving me. It's not giving what's supposed to give. It's not giving what's supposed to give, and then you realize it's not a hindsight because you're still in that moment. You
Yeah.
understand? So hindsight to me is like when you sit down with your girlfriends, it's like, girl, so me and Kevin, we done. I broke up after 2 years later. Yeah, we broke up because of so and so. Now looking back, I realize I let him
Yes.
go. Blah blah blah.
That's
Now looking back, I see that these. But while you're in it, it's not hindsight. It's after
right.
it's all done and you moving into that window of space, and you realize, I'm
In
in a better
hindsight,
space.
I realized I didn't have to stay with him the whole 8 years.
Yeah. And the hindsight, I should have got my freak on and been partying and dancing because he was having a good time. Because that's another thing that women do. You hold on and hold on to this virtue while this man is out here dropping it like it's hot and seeing other people and enjoying life. And then he realized, okay, she's my best choice. She's ain't nothing out here, so I'm gonna stay with her. You in the heavens didn't go nowhere, didn't date, didn't do nothing. Now you mad.
Yep.
You were like, I was a good what the
See, I have a motto. If you cheat, I cheat. Period. That's my motto. That's all I'm going to say, people. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
If
and you have to
you
be happy enough to be
you're not
like,
loyal, I don't owe
I'm not
anything to you.
loyal.
I don't
Yeah.
owe it to you.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
But
But
that's
Red
when, like you said,
Roses, I do want to say something to Red Roses because I'm finding that not everyone is listening. And I
mm-hmm,
do want the cycle of listening, right?
mm-hmm,
Because we went over break the cycle. So
mm-hmm,
you might have to go back and look at the video. But Red Roses says the reason I said break the cycle is because you've allowed someone to evolve, but you don't evolve. You're
mm-hmm,
stuck with unhappiness. No,
mm-hmm.
everyone is always evolving.
Evolving, yeah.
Always.
Even when you're waiting for somebody, you're evolving. You're
Even
changing.
if
You're
you're
going to
stuck in a
work.
relationship, you're
You're
evolving.
evolving. Mm-hmm.
The choice that you're making to stay stuck in a relationship based upon what Sky says, which is what I believe in as well, is are you making yourself happy? Are you looking at yourself?
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. So we're getting lost in the word break the cycle and stuck.
Yeah.
And these are words I think we need to start eradicating from our lives. Like
Mm-hmm.
break the cycle. Breaking the cycle is a choice, but the choice takes time. And sometimes it takes 8 years.
Right. Or it takes you to say, I think, and like you said, what Rogers is saying, I said, I don't think what you're saying is wrong. I think how you're
It's not wrong.
looking at it is in a
Yes.
way of, well, this had to happen. This begat that, and this did that. This happened, so this happened, so this happened. They evolved to this. It's like, no, during that 8 years, you're both evolving because nobody
Yes.
stays the same.
No one.
Nobody. If you stay the exact same way you were 8 years ago, I don't know what to tell you.
Sad. I'm
That's a
scared.
bad thing, right? Excuse me.
I'm worried.
You know, if you did not upgrade your macaroni and cheese recipe to, if it's the same macaroni and cheese from 8 years ago, if you didn't add secret. Smoked Gouda. I don't know what to tell you, sis. That cheese, that macaroni and cheese, that broccoli is done. That shrimp is chewy. That cornbread is dry. If you didn't upgrade to know, let me put some butter on the top of this bread. Like if you don't learn those, if you're the same 8 years from now, it's inevitable that everybody evolves. You understand? But if you still the same person, like sis, that's the same style as sewing with the bang and the butt. Could you imagine somebody with the same hairstyle from 8 years ago? Y'all would be like, oh my God, what's that? With the remember the weave with the straight across and your head look real big? Come on now. You were like, what is going on?
I used to have a friend, and she thought putting her hair in a bun was a very corporate look, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so in a reading, I said that to her. I was like, you're living this life that's not even you. And the bun represents, oh man, I lost her. I'll just finish the story. The bun represents the life that you thought corporate wanted you to live. Man, she took that advice and chopped her hair off. I mean, chopped it off. And looked cute as a button nose. Yep. All right, we're going to wait for Sky to get back in. But thank you. I hope that it's making sense. And Red Roses, it's like you're graduating too. You're not happy enough to move on with you, with yourself. By the way, everything that Sky has said, I can co-sign. Even though I was asking the questions, I was trusting her answers. Right? Notice I didn't step in front of her. I didn't stop her. You know, she was allowed and given the freedom to, you know, be the oracle. All right. And so I just thought if I helped in the questioning, then maybe we can get the oracle in Sky to come out. And I think it worked. What happened, Crystal? Marvelous After Dark episode tonight. Yeah, that's a good point. You know, I did this for Sky's birthday, right? This was my gift to Sky, right? I don't even think I told her that. But I'm a big fan of recognizing you're here. You are here. You were born. That is a big thing for me to offer up to everyone. We have a whole group that we belong to, and we record the birthdays, and you know, half the times you don't even get up before somebody is wishing you happy birthday. So if I can offer that back to any of you, right? Don't be like, don't not acknowledge somebody's birthday, right? Like, they're here, they're born for a reason, and it's a beautiful thing to say, oh my God, today's your birthday, happy birthday. I mean, you guys have Facebook friends. Like, some days I'm happy birthday to 10 people. Right. So happy birthday, Vovo. Well, TSS, I think that you're asking questions that's all over the place, right? You think this is the first time we've lived in war? Oh. You think this is the first time we've lived in war? They've gotten through. You think other countries, Vietnam, World War II, Korean War, you think this is the first time that there's been a war out there? No. I mean, we can add on 1,000 other things: crazy rent, trafficking, volcanoes erupting, wildfires. We can add all the stuff on. I think it's really important to understand the operating under love in the circumstances that you're given. How can you help? when something comes across your table and somebody says, hey, there's a GoFundMe for this story that only you have read on the internet. Can you give $5 toward the GoFundMe? Is there a way that we could make a better difference in the world that we are living in today? But we are not the first one that's lived in these circumstances. So I think, it's time to look at life a little different, right? I don't know. I want to say it's time to grow spiritually up, right? Sylvester from Cynthia Anna James SD Shop made a shirt that said, spiritual the fuck up, right? One of my favorite sayings, because that is what's required now, the spiritual growth, not the fear of crazy rent and trafficking and wildfires and gas prices. There's, for everything that is going on in the world, there is somebody that is doing something about it. Sign up to participate in something that's bothering you. If sex trafficking is bothering you, find a way to participate. Immigration bothered the fuck out of me. And so you know what I did? I signed up for this group. I can't remember the group now, but I used to carry their card around, where I would go to the courts every morning before work. I didn't have to be at work until 11. I was at the courts till 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock in the morning. They would be done by 9:30-ish. I didn't have to be at work till 11. And I made sure that those judges gave fair consideration to the immigrant children. And it was a lot of work. And yet all I did was sit there every morning. I can't remember the organization that I participated in. And I did it until my sister had a problem out of her group home. And then I apologized. I was like, I got to remove myself from participating. But my sister needs me. And then she's needed me ever since. But if there are things that are grappling at your soul, find a way to participate. Find a way to be a part of a group. Find a way to help. Because in the end, that's the love that you'll be giving back. Now, if it's easy for you to get back through money, fine. Offer money. If it's easy for you to attend Zoom classes, Zoom sessions for people to teach you how to help in sex trafficking, like what can be done in sex trafficking, yeah, go to some Zoom classes. If you ask out loud, it'll just show up. It'll show up right on your phone. Something with sex trafficking will just show up. I promise you. Okay, I respect that, TSA. That's a beautiful thing. Remember to go back in, right? Remember not to measure. Go back in and find something else that will take your mind off of how bad the world is. Am I participating in making it better? All right. Yeah, sex trafficking is big to you. There's a place for you somewhere in some Zoom class session, in some organ. There is a place for you. I promise you. I promise you, there's a place for you somewhere, so that you feel like I did something. I may have saved a kid, because they need you, and they need people, especially when something's like, that's when you have to go, what, God? Show me, because this really bothers me. All right. All right. Sky's having some trouble to get back in. Let me just see if we should just end this. Maybe her phone might have died. Um, it was a beautiful gift. Happy birthday, Sky. Many blessings and an abundant flow of now and forever. And yes, in terms of how I give my gifts, right? I give my gifts by sharing on Zoom. That's how I give my gifts. So that other people will see the quality of someone else. That's how I share. And I can't imagine that sharing like that could come back to haunt me. Because if it does, it's not on me. Because I did and gave freely. The only service that I know how to do right now in today's world, and that is share my channel. So we've got a couple of people that have this thing with sex trafficking. Okay. I wish for you to find your way into an arena that helps you to give back to sex trafficking, Patty. If you want to stay more in service, you will stay more in service. You will. Okay, let's not have the conversation go wonky now, because this is where I know you guys aren't learning. If we're not talking about sex trafficking, we're talking about, can you participate better? Can you give back in something that you feel is a horrific system that's going on right now? That's what I want you all to hear. Let's stay focused. Remember, everyone, it's about spiritual elevation, not to have talk about sex trafficking in a moment where we cannot do anything about it. You, as an individual, can do something. Find your way in to help. All right, everyone? All right. Okay, so I think Sky was talking from her phone. Everybody wish Sky a happy birthday, because I think she was talking on her phone, and I just texted her and she's not coming back. So I think her phone died. Well, I just want to say to you, Sky, happy. No, I'm going to say happy birthday. Happy birthday, Sky. Have a blessed day, Sky. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Thank you for letting the Oracle Sky speak. All right. I just want her to come back on. Happy birthday, Sky. You are loved beyond measure, my friend. That's beautiful, the Kiki Witch. Let me see if I can get. No, I don't think I can get her on on Instagram either. Sky. Oh wait, no, Beautiful Conundrum. Oh, check out Beautiful Conundrum's Instagram. Oh, here she is. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad I waited. Yes. Yes. Your phone died, didn't it?
Put my headphones on. My phone was like, "We done. What are we talking about? We ready? We talking about this." My people was like, "Disconnect."
But I was waiting for you to come back on because I just want everyone to wish you happy birthday.
Thank you.
Love you long time, Sky.
Thank you. I hope I resonated for everybody.
Great conversation about self-love and giving back. Happy birthday, says Patty.
Thank you so much, guys. It was awesome spending it with you guys. It was enlightening.
Nice. It was nice.
Yes.
And as when you were gone, we were talking about service to others, right? And your version of service to others is different than somebody else's version. It doesn't have to be big. And I was telling everyone, my service is my channel. So my happy birthday to you is allowing you to speak freely and give it. But that's my service. Like, all I have is room, Sky. I'm nowhere near you to take you out to dinner. I wish I was, because you know we would have a good time laughing at dinner. But I'm not. So my service is my channel. Damn it. Oh, Valerie, hi, sweetie. Happy birthday.
Yes,
Happy
me
birthday,
too.
Sky. No worries, no worries.
Thank
Twinkle
you.
says happy
I hope
birthday.
everybody. I hope everybody liked your. I liked your thingy. I don't know if people. I couldn't even see how many people. I hope everybody liked it, and I hope it
Yes.
enlightens people and people may at least helped whoever had questions that we gave them confirmation, because this was a weird. It kind of went all around.
You know, Valerie, I was going to say I haven't seen you. And then I was like, oh, let me be quiet. But I haven't seen you. But also, because I know Sky so well,
Uh-huh.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Sky's gift is her speech. She's always giving advice, always. And she's training up a whole bunch of girls to be great women along with their mothers, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Communication is key. I think if we all did more of that, and less talking at each other and more talking to,
And Sky?
and more listening. Just hear. I think sometimes you just got to hear, because somebody may be saying something that just sounds so outrageous to you, but there may be one small point where, okay, I get it. And it may make you understand them a little bit better. I think we all want to be understood, but we fail to understand other people.
Yes. Absolutely.
So,
That's a human communication issue.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
we're also going into, a whole feminine, growth, right?
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
who's going to carry communication best but us? Like, what do
Mm-hmm.
we do all the time? I need to talk to you, your child. Can we have a talk about whatever your relationship? We're the communicators.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not lose the ability, because we can only communicate together to make this world better. And there's a whole
Yeah.
female shift, guys. I
Mm-hmm.
hope you are ready to
Mm-hmm.
participate and not tear us down.
I'll tear other women down because they
Don't
don't
tear
like
other
themselves.
women down.
Yeah,
Because
find
some
ways to make.
women,
Mm-hmm.
they're not gonna take that old shit from you.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these women are gonna snap at you and you're not gonna like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
Mm-hmm.
let's shift, let's support, let's not,
Mm-hmm.
let's not believe somebody needs to do what you would do. Well, if I was them, sometimes people say, oh, it couldn't have been me. But it wasn't you.
People like sit, but no, I'm saying I'm the idiot to go. But it was you. Remember when so and so? What are you
Was
talking? Like, that's why I don't have a lot of girlfriends. I'm like, wait a minute, sis. I was there when. So what are you
when you
talking
told
about?
me.
Yeah, I see. I'm so. What are you talking? And I think if more women did that, because sometimes you sit and watch people embarrass other people and then go, they don't have to do it in front of anybody else, but they're quiet when they're alone. Like, why would you say that? Because I know the truth. Sometimes we are party to the bull crap and the
Yes.
BS, and we kind of sit there. We never say in a quiet moment like, sis, I was there when he was knocking you in the head and he was stealing your money, and I was there. So why would you tell that to that young girl that? Or why would you tell her?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because a lot of women are unhappy.
Yeah.
You understand? Just find your space. I think even if you can't find it, make your own space. It just helps, on this journey of life, love, religion, or spirituality, just more of a conduit to help each other. And like
Yeah.
you said, crystals, we all connect, whether we like it or not. Whether we like it or not. If you see the trees of all those roots, we are the roots.
Mm.
We have to help each other. In order to grow, we have to help each other. It's not going to happen without us working together. The funniest thing that I ever heard, not funniest, most thing that made me go, aha, was when somebody I knew was doing research. And they said, in the DNA, there's nothing that says that who's black, white, or brown. There's no gene for that.
Mm-hmm.
So without these meat suits, we all the same people.
Mm.
There's nothing that determines that we are all the same people, human race.
Right.
So I don't have to like you. We already know it's been done. Don't get me wrong, because I thought about slavery and all types of stuff. But if you give each other grace,
Yeah.
give each other grace. But like, you know what? I've been there, done that. I've done dumb. When I see like teenage girls, they be like, oh my God, look at that skirt. Look at her. I'll be like, girl, you can tell me nothing at 16. You couldn't
Right.
tell me nothing. I'm like, you old. You thought somebody was old at 23. And you was like, you just hate him because I'm cute. At 15, 16, 17, you're supposed to be an idiot. You're an asshole. You think everything you say is right. Your hormones are raging.
Yeah.
Until you're about 17, you calm down. Before you be like, you want to knock them in the head. But a lot of women forget what it was like to be those girls with all those hormones and all that stuff going on. Come on, there's some grown women now in these 50s, 60s wearing that stuff. If she could wear it. That's their business.
Let me
She should
tell
be.
you something. We're not going to discuss my age until I'm there. Once I'm
Mm-hmm.
there, we will just be discussing the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing poom shorts. I don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
How I get to be a certain age and I can wear poom shorts? I can?
Oh, you wear them, girl. You be like, girl, look her little shorts on. And it's
not
cute.
Your problem is not my problem.
Mm-hmm. Even people get into the big thing. I like to see the videos of the really, really big girls and be, sis, put the 2-piece on. Put it on. Let the fupa. I'll be like, that is confident.
Did you see the Spanish one? Is that the Spanish one?
Yes. She be like, put it on, sis. Put it on. Wear the fupa. Put it on. Put it on. Put your fupa on his head. I'll be like, see, you need more women like that. Why would I feel away? Oh, she should wear that. She's comfortable. And you know what's the funny part? They probably got more boyfriends because of confidence. It'd be the girls that really, it's okay to be you. It's when people start doing, oh, she shouldn't wear that. Why do you care? Why is it bothering you? If it's not bothering her, let her do. That's her thing. That's her life. That's her energy. That's how she has to do things.
Yes.
So again, it's just a bigger picture of, if you think you're a spiritual person, if you feel, if you're religious or whatever, the bottom line is love your neighbor. Be mindful. Be thankful. I can't remember what it says. You go, Tracey. Yeah, poom shots. So at the end of the day, you just got to do what resonates for you. Everybody, you can't tell everybody what to do.
Yes.
And that's on them. Even with your kids, at some point, they have to become their own person.
Yes.
At some point.
Yes.
They have to, so now you have to understand, did I bear good fruit? And sometimes you got to be honest, girl, this fruit I got, girl, I don't know. I did everything I could. And they just it's not, they chose you to be here anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You were a vessel they came through. Between your legs as a woman, is the universe. You bear children.
Well, that's a whole other topic, Sky.
That's a whole time.
But
Exactly.
we need to talk about how I spread my legs, how grace is between my legs,
mm-hmm.
how it belongs to me, my choice, how I sleep with you,
mm-hmm.
right? Who I sleep with.
Exactly.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that your womb
mm-hmm.
is the universe.
And it's sacred.
Sacred.
It's sacred. And for the women who cannot bear children, there are things that they are bearing to the world that are sometimes just as important as children.
Yes. Well, there's a couple of things. There are women that don't want children. That's fine. There are women that want children, can't have children. There's many foster children out there that are suffering badly.
Mm-hmm.
Go grab a child before they become fucked up in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's this is a whole nother thing.
Mm-hmm.
wound therapy, wound care. We're gonna have to talk womb.
That's
We're
E
gonna have
for
to talk
shit.
about that.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta bring it for Shay on
Yeah.
because this place right here, hold on. This place right here,
Mm-hmm.
this is your loving space. Not a
Mm-hmm.
baby needs to come through this. Well,
Mm-hmm.
love is found
Mm-hmm.
here first.
Yeah.
Start rubbing that belly because
Your intuition. Say,
your
I
intuition,
got that
yeah,
feeling in my gut. All of that. All of that.
yes.
All of that. It's a blessing. So thank you for everybody for hanging out on my B day, on my glow day, on my new year.
I'm so glad that we could do this.
Yeah. And guys, hit her like buttons. Like. I don't know how many people in here, but y'all can like on all
I don't know
three hitting
how
the
high
like
it got
button.
up to. I saw it as high as 70, but I'm not sure how high it got up
Oh
to.
well, just hit the like button. We here to chit chat. It is what it is. We're on our own thingy. Like if somebody wants to come and talk, they'll talk. It'll grow. We'll grow organically is the word that people like to use. But
Yes,
you
naturally,
guys be that. I think
organically.
your uh energetic payment is to like, subscribe. It puts in
Okay,
another realm people like. That's
that's
energetic to
fair.
me. That's energetically saying, "Yo, I like this. This is a great thing. I
Yeah,
want somebody else to see it. It may
right.
put it
Yeah,
someplace else." Sometimes it's not so much. I find that people do things with youth. This is me personally speaking. You too. I don't like her. I'm not gonna like her. But if you know you're helping, then why not like? Then why watch it?
mm-hmm.
You understand? Just be here to support. If you're here to watch and support. Enjoy it. But
Mm-hmm.
again, today's lesson, leave today's guys know and figuring out what your joy is, what makes you happy, not just the things that work or whatever, but okay, get down to the core of it. Have that conversation with yourself while you're in the shower. What makes me happy? Write all those things down. Maybe
But
this
wait,
week, do it.
do what,
Do
Sky?
so,
Say it again. Say it again.
what? Do what this week. Take the time while you shower, figure out what makes you happy. And today is what? Monday?
Right.
Between now and Sunday, do something that makes you happy.
Yeah.
I feel so good because sometimes going out to a nice restaurant for a nice steak, girl, because I like a nice steak medium.
But wait a
But
second. I also
hmm
know that you go
hmm
to the park sometimes.
yeah, I go to the parks. I put my feet in the dirt. I have started to touch trees, y'all.
Yes.
That's a whole new thing. I was like,
I
why do I
did
feel a
really.
vibration? Like, I
Yes.
didn't realize that you can connect on the sand or the dirt. You're like, no, this
It
is a little
grounds
crazy.
you. Ground.
Right.
Yeah.
Touch a tree.
Very
I'm like,
helpful.
hey, you were like, okay, what's up? I look a little weird touching the tree. But you're looking around like, anybody see me? 'Cause I'm in New York. You lean on the tree. Yeah. So, hey, tree.
Hey, great. Yeah, yeah. I do that too.
Hey,
No,
put your hair like,
sometimes
all right.
when I'm taking out the garbage, right?
Mm-hmm.
I take out the garbage at night now. So when I take out the
Mm-hmm.
garbage and I'm walking back and I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking around and I'm like, hi, Mr. Moon.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Right.
noticing
You
you.
just notice things. Even people that have plants in the house. If you just talk to them, the energy, you can always feel the energy in your house and where it leans. So, take this week to do you. Find
Yeah.
what makes you happy. Do something that,
That
that made
internal
me
peace.
feel good.
Yeah.
That you felt good. If it meant I'm gonna get me an ice cream cone from Cold Stone, or I'm gonna go this
Yeah.
restaurant, I'm gonna get me a plate from there. Do something that gives you bliss.
Yeah.
That's gonna shift things. I'm not saying I know everything, but
Right,
I'm
right.
saying it's gonna shift. Hit me on Instagram like Sky, bitch, honey,
This is
my
what I did.
girl. This is what I
Right.
did, and girl, my day went really good. My restaurant week was good. You'll be surprised. It's something. If you need an accountability person, hit me up like, hey, girl. I'm like, hey, boo, you did something today. Like sometimes you just want to be able to talk to somebody, be like, yo, today was a good day. It was, yeah, it was. And sometimes talking to people that you do not know may inspire you more.
Yeah.
Sometimes people you don't even know will say, girl, I know sometimes my hair is just right, when I do it. So I go, yeah, looks. So I'm like, thank you. You understand? Like they make you feel I will see a girl who their hair looks real nice. It's like This
Yeah.
girl the other day, I went to go get what is it? Starbucks, and this girl had on a waist trainer. And she was a tall girl, real voluptuous. She had a waist trainer. Her waist looked so small. I turned around and looked. I was like, "See, I need to put on a damn waist trainer. Get it together." I said, "Girl, you giving me life with that." I said, "You are snatched." She told me, she
Well,
was like, "Thank you." I was like, "I should have put on mine." And you could see it made her feel good. I was like, "You look snatched. You do whatever you doing, girl, is working. I need to put mine on because you look
well,
good."
Guy, giving others compliments
Mm-hmm.
is healing for you.
Right. It's good. Like it feels like it's all around, like it's full circle. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, I noticed something. That looks good. Maybe I need to, I think everybody as a whole, if you did more of those things genuinely,
Yeah.
genuinely,
Yeah.
not to be fake or phony. Oh, that looks nice. If you get somebody looks like, what you talking about? You're like, oh well, I really thought yourself looked nice. Okay. That person wasn't there to receive that message. Doesn't
Yes.
make you not, don't mean you have to tussle with them. You're like, oh, okay, well, she in the bad mood today. And send her off with grace. I hope she feels better. I hope her
Mm.
day gets more sunny. And because sometimes we don't see those things, but ultimately, guys, I think this week, take that time. I'm saying, hit me on Instagram, girl. There's this place in New York called Farmer in the Deli. They make the best sandwiches for $6. The best sandwiches. But you got to stand on the line to be people. That's a spot. If I can get a sandwich from there, that's like, oh yeah, I'm going home. I'm going home. I'm going to wash up. I'm going to take a shower. I got a bag of chips. I got a drink. I got to set it up to eat the sandwich. It's like I'm in heaven. Let me figure out what I'm going to watch while I'm eating it.
Right.
That gives me like a like a good moment. Now, if you want
Yeah.
to aggravate me, send me
Yeah.
to the West Indian restaurant and put up for a plate of oxtail. And Patricia will pull up your face. You just want a little bit of gravy. A little bit. They be doing you dirty, but I'm not gonna say that. You can see how I'm getting angry right now, but I'm just, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not
No.
gonna go I'm
Yeah.
not gonna go there because I'm expecting something and I know what they're gonna do. So I say,
Right.
let me go someplace else. I don't want to
Right.
trigger myself. So if
Right.
there's places that trigger you that set you off, I haven't had. I've been begging for oxtail. I think I have to ask a kinky wish to make some oxtail. Maybe come down to New York and make some oxtail and rice. But I just won't go into the store now
Listen, y'all get together,
because
cook the goddamn oxtail. Ain't
right.
nothing better than cooking your own oxtail.
You just
Uh-uh.
like, so now so I know for myself, I'm not even gonna go in there. I'm like, they're not gonna grace my money. I don't know what's wrong, Patricia. She be having a hard day, but I bless her. But I'll do something else to get a sandwich or get something else that I like. But find things that make you happy. Don't go in places where they're gonna trigger you. Don't go to the same nail and you gotta complain to her about too much powder, too thick. Find you another nail person.
Right.
Why keep going to the same place if you know they
And
triggering
they
you?
shouldn't you shouldn't be giving you their money if they aggravate
Thank you. You
you.
go somewhere to have peace, to have grace, to be, this is a good experience. Start moving in that way. I want to deal in good experiences because you have enough stuff you got to deal with that's going to aggravate you. When you're doing something for yourself for joy, to give yourself joy, those things will fall away because you're giving yourself joy. I'm just saying. Let me
All
know.
right.
Do it between now and a week.
Listen. Oh, I at Beautiful Conundrum. Hold on a second. I just typed it in. Uh, hold on. Let me find my name. There you go. At Beautiful Conundrum. If you did something to take care of yourself, don't judge it. Don't judge yourself. Contact Sky and let Sky know this is what I did. And that's her IG. So just DM her.
Yeah,
All
just
right,
say
Steph.
hi, girl.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Oh, wait, Miss Steph. Oh, wow. This made me realize I enjoy giving compliments too. Look at Steph. Thank you for your birthday, Sky. This was a great gathering. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Somebody said, when are you going to have a super psychic event? This was
Oh.
it. Sky is a super psychic. Like, oh my God. She's a super psychic. This was the event. I meant to announce it in the beginning and I just, with all the
Didn't think
technical
about it.
issues, I
Yes.
forgot. Guys, when will you all get together for a super psychic event? Today. It happened. You missed it. And you were here the whole time. Don't miss your blessings, people. Sky is a
Mhm.
super psychic. Period.
Mhm.
Point blank. You had your session.
Yeah. It's fun. Like if you need to ask me a question, if you feel, my Instagram is really weird anyway. I put stuff on my reels and the light and stuff. But you know, if you have any questions, like do something. I'm really looking forward to seeing people say, you know what I did this week that made me feel so happy. I think we just deal in happiness. It'll change how you deal with a lot of things. Like you said, there's a lot of wound care, so many things to talk about.
Yeah, so many
Spirituality. There's so
things.
many things, but let's start off with the simple things. God is way bigger than the little box you put
Mm,
him, her, it in. Give yourself grace so you give other people grace.
yes.
And know what makes you happy and gives you joy. Those are simple things. If you be like, God is bigger than this building, dude, he gonna find a way. Even if the lights go out, it was meant to go out because supposed to move in another direction. I'm supposed to be moving in another direction. Everything has a reason. Sometimes we just have to be paying attention to what that reason is.
So one of the things that you mentioned tonight is God is way bigger than the little box. What's the part
Mm.
about grace?
Oh, give yourself grace so you can give other people grace. Be willing to give yourself. We all mess up. We all just say dumb stuff sometimes. We all do stupid ish. But give yourself grace so you can give somebody else grace. So that when you know for yourself, you know how to give it to other people.
Yes.
You
And what
understand?
was the third thing?
And then find joy. Find your happiness in your joy. Because in finding your happiness and in your own joy, you then are able to give it to other people. And if I'm joyful and happy, I can also make you joyful and happy. If I'm angry and bitter, what you think I'm gonna do to you? If
Yeah.
my soul is in turmoil, I'm always upset about something. I don't know how to make myself happy. I'm gonna drag you along with me. You
Mm.
understand? So that makes it, like you always be mindful. Like say when people gossip, this is just a food for thought. Think about when people gossip. It takes a lot of energy to do that. I'm like that one friend that people don't want to gossip around because I'm the one that goes, so why you care? Okay, she a hoe. Why we care? She's sexually busy. Like that's her business. Why we don't say that about men? He community dick. We okay with that? Oh, I
Yeah.
don't like her lace front. That's her business. And you should let her know a better place to like those things that sometimes you get caught up in. Do
Yeah.
they really matter?
Yeah.
Do they? When you really think when you gossip, I say, why do you care?
Yeah.
Just ask yourself when you start gossiping. Just ask, why do I care? What does
Yeah.
this have to do with me?
Yeah.
That'll answer your own question. You'll be like, let me just walk away. Sometimes you don't have to engage. But I'll be right back. I got a phone call. Don't
Well, let me
engage.
give you a good example in terms of like not gossiping about people, just going back
Mm-hmm.
years. And I was working, and there weren't enough black people at the job, but we had, maybe three or four.
Mm-hmm.
And we were on the same level, unit managers. And I didn't like the makeup of one of the girls' faces. And
Mm-hmm.
so we finally got stuck in an elevator by accident together. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, I don't like your makeup.
Mm-hmm.
And we wound up being the best of friends. Why? Because I went to her. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
gossip about her. I went to her. And when she
Mm-hmm.
told the story later, she was like, and this bitch had the nerve to say, but she changed her makeup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
We
sometimes people
became
are
the
honest.
best of friends because I was honest with her, upfront and honest.
Ooh, that's another issue because being honest, a lot of people have baby, that's a
It's
hello.
true.
A
It's
lot of
true.
people don't know how to be honest. A lot of people, let's we all be a lot of times it's hard for us to be honest for a
Yeah.
lot of reasons. For a lot of
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah.
A lot of people cannot be honest. I'm sometimes the sad bad thing about me, I'm brutally honest. Not excuse me, that's incorrect because I'm not brutally honest. Because that's being mean. I'm honest with care.
Okay. I'll take it.
I'm honest with care. I'm like, if I don't like them, I'm like, your lace front, pull it down a little bit. I'm like, well, I'm just saying, I see all the laces. I can see all the
That's
grids.
different.
Like, be honest. Like, I like the style, but I can see is that the look you go? Like, sometimes just communicating. I hate when, I should got that. I can't wear lace front. You see how I be sweating like a pig? I
Yeah.
can't. Some people know how to do it really good. So
Yeah.
why would you make someone feel bad about their choices? You could say, hey, I'm noticing this. It's how they receive it. It's also how you give it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no,
sometimes they
it wasn't given bad.
no, not you. I'm just saying in
Yeah,
general, other
yeah. Because
people.
I give things in a cutesy kind of way, but
Yeah,
it's like but it did come across as like I can't take it anymore.
right. You can't, but that's what I'm saying. But that's not gossiping. That's giving somebody a piece of advice. There's a difference.
Yes.
So, like you said, a lot of people don't want to hear the truth, and that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, it is.
Today we talking grace, joy, love. God is bigger than the box you put, him or her in.
That sounds like
You
the type of
know.
great book. All right, Sky.
Bye,
You don't have
guys.
to stay for another 20 minutes.
No, guys.
I love
No.
you.
I love
Happy
you too.
birthday.
Thank you. Thank you,
Woo!
guys. Thank you for celebrating me,
Birthday.
guys. This was a great read. This was really great. I hope this resonated
You
for a
were the
lot of
reader.
people.
You were the oracle.
I know. I hope it resonated for a lot of people.
I think
I'll
it
go
did.
back and look at the comments. I can
Yeah,
see it
go back
here.
and look at
I'm
the
gonna look
live
at it.
comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you,
Bye,
Sky.
everybody.
Bye. Bye,
Bye,
everyone. Bye, Sky.
guys.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown
Finish.
Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to